This module has provided a strong and practical foundation in basic Ijaw vocabulary, equipping learners with essential words needed for everyday communication. Through the study of key vocabulary categories such as numbers, days of the week, months of the year, common objects, and family members, learners have developed the ability to recognize, pronounce, and understand words that are frequently used in real-life situations. This foundational knowledge serves as a critical step toward achieving overall language proficiency. By mastering these basic vocabulary items, learners are now better prepared to form simple and meaningful sentences, ask and respond to questions, and engage in everyday conversations with greater ease. They can describe their environment, talk about their family, express needs, and discuss time and events using appropriate Ijaw words. In addition, learners have begun to understand how vocabulary fits into sentence structure, which supports the development of both speaking and writing skills. Furthermore, this module has helped to improve learners' pronunciation and listening abilities, as consistent exposure to Ijaw sounds and words enhances their ability to communicate clearly and accurately. As learners continue to practice, they will gain more confidence in using the language, reducing hesitation and increasing fluency during interactions. It is important to note that vocabulary learning is an ongoing process. Continued practice through repetition, sentence formation, reading, and speaking will further strengthen retention and understanding. Learners are encouraged to use the words learned in this module regularly in conversations, classroom activities, and personal practice. Over time, this consistent use will lead to improved fluency, better pronunciation, and greater confidence in communicating effectively in Ijaw. Sentence construction is a key skill for effective communication in Ijaw. While vocabulary provides individual words, sentences enable learners to express complete thoughts, ask questions, and communicate meaning clearly and effectively. In this module, learners progress from isolated words to meaningful communication by learning how to form simple sentences. This module focuses on 4 essential areas of sentence construction: basic sentence structure, subject, verb, object. Simple statements for everyday communication, forming questions using intonation and question words, and expressing negation, stating what is not happening. Mastering these areas will enhance clarity, build confidence, and significantly improve fluency in Ijaw communication. In Ijaw, sentences typically follow the subject-verb-object (SVO) pattern. This means the subject, who is performing the action, comes first. The verb, the action, comes next. The object, what receives the action, comes last. This structure is similar to English, making it easier for learners to understand and apply. The SVO structure helps create clear and meaningful sentences. Consider the following examples. Efo Furo, I eat rice. Efo me, she drinks water. Timi Efo Buka, Timi reads a book. Boba Efo Boti, father buys a boat. Mama Efo Furo, mother cooks food. In each example, the subject appears first, followed by the verb Efo, and then the object. In Ijaw, words are generally pronounced as they are written. However, learners must pay attention to clear syllable separation, proper articulation of vowels and consonants, steady rhythm when speaking. Good pronunciation ensures that meaning is understood correctly during communication. Simple statements are used to express facts, describe situations, and talk about daily activities. These statements follow the SVO structure and are the foundation of communication in Ijaw. Learners should begin with short, simple sentences before progressing to more complex ones. Examples of simple statements. Eyiarai, I am fine. Miyiyari, we are at home. Okpo Efo Furot, the boy eats rice. Oku Efo Buka, the girl reads a book. Timi Efo Mokoriti, Timi goes to the market. These examples show how everyday ideas can be expressed clearly using simple sentence structures. Different verbs in Ijaw serve different grammatical and functional purposes in sentence construction. Understanding their roles is essential for expressing actions, states, and conditions accurately. The verb therefore is commonly used to describe actions such as eating, reading, buying, and going. It expresses physical or active processes carried out by a subject. In contrast, the verb die is used to describe states, identity, or conditions, functioning similarly to the verb to be in English. A clear understanding of how these verbs operate enables learners to construct meaningful sentences that accurately express both actions and states of being. This distinction is fundamental for developing correct and effective communication in Ijaw. Asking questions is essential for interaction and effective communication in Ijaw. Questions are typically formed in two main ways, by using rising intonation at the end of a statement, or by using question words placed at the beginning of a sentence. In many cases, the basic sentence structure remains unchanged, and meaning is conveyed through tone or the use of interrogative words rather than altering word order. This makes question formation relatively straightforward once learners are familiar with pronunciation and intonation patterns. Understanding these two methods of question formation helps learners engage in conversations, seek information, and respond appropriately in everyday Ijaw communication. Common question words in Ijaw are used to request specific types of information and are essential for everyday communication. They help learners form simple and effective questions without significantly altering sentence structure. Some common question forms include: Where? How are you? Me wani. Where is? Me efo. Does/do. Me bo. Who is? Examples of usage are: Where? How are you? Me wani buka. Where is the book? Timi efo furo. Is Timi eating rice? Me boyi yori. Who is at home? Efo me. Are they drinking water? These examples demonstrate that forming questions in Ijaw is relatively simple, as it often requires only slight adjustments to sentence structure rather than major changes. Rising intonation plays an important role in spoken Ijaw. When forming a question, the speaker's voice typically rises at the end of the sentence, signaling that a response is expected. In many cases, the sentence structure remains unchanged from a statement, with intonation being the main feature that distinguishes a question from a statement. Consistent practice of rising intonation helps learners develop natural speech patterns and makes it easier for listeners to recognize when a question is being asked. Mastery of this feature is essential for clear and effective oral communication in Ijaw. Negation is used to express that something is not happening. In Ijaw, negation is often formed by inserting the marker me into the sentence. This allows learners to clearly express negative ideas. Examples of negation: Emi efo furo, I do not eat food. Okumi efo furo, the girl does not eat food. Bobami efo boti, father is not buying a boat. The position of me is important for maintaining correct meaning. In Ijaw, a single sentence can be easily transformed into a statement, a question, or a negation with only slight adjustments. This flexibility shows how meaning can change without significantly altering the structure of the sentence. For example, statement: Oku efo furo, Oku is eating rice. Question: Oku efo furo. Is Oku eating rice? Negation: Okumi efo furo, Oku is not eating rice. Another example illustrates the same pattern. Statement: Boba efo boti, father buys a boat. Question: Boba efo boti. Is father buying a boat? Negation: Boba mi efo boti, father is not buying a boat. Regular practice of these patterns helps learners understand sentence formation and improves their ability to communicate effectively in Ijaw. This module has equipped learners with the essential skills needed to construct basic sentences in Ijaw. By combining vocabulary with sentence structure, learners are now able to express ideas, ask questions, and communicate more effectively in everyday situations. Continued practice will further strengthen fluency, improve pronunciation accuracy, and build confidence in real-life conversations. Over time, these foundational skills will support more advanced language use and enable learners to communicate more naturally in Ijaw.